It's the first stage of the Eliminator. On the third day, the money day, 2 and 1, and we are off here at Hamilton Island into the water. It's still warm in the water, although it's a little bit cooler outdoors. We might see a little bit of pace up as the ground dries a little bit. Everyone got off well there, I think, and there was a little hesitation before we got the gun, but it didn't seem to stop everyone.
No, I think it was a clean start. I mean, we've seen that on all the races, thankfully. You know, nobody's made any mistakes, and it's you know, I think I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, what we can expect from the swimmers again. You know, I was speaking to Richard Varga, and he loves this short sort of racing, you know, that high threshold, and look, it appears to me that he's taking out the lead hard again, and I think, you know, he's going to fight through all three of these races.
That's Salversberg, who's had a great start. Jeez, he's been swimming well for the entire last 2 days. That's right him on Varga's feet there. That left-hand side of the pontoon, position 1 looks to be the quickest part, which was not the case in day 1.
So I think the order right now is Richard Varga, as you say, Salversberg behind him, and that is exactly how the swim played out yesterday as well. You just need to find a spot somewhere in Richard Varga's wake and ride that wave, because this guy swims like nobody's business. In WTS races, in which he's been in 34, he's gotten out of the water after the 1,500 metres 28 times in first position. That shows you how dominant he is as a swimmer, and he says 300 metres is more suited to him than 1,500, and it certainly seems that way as he pulls away from Salversberg and far away from the rest of the pack.
And where he seems very, very good, if you watched him go around those first 2 swim buoys, is around the buoys. He really gaps them, and that's where it seems to be breaking up a lot.
It's very methodical, isn't it, when you're going around turn cans? People think it's, you know, it is a simple turn, but it is a break in your rhythm. And for someone like Richard, you know, it's all about your kick, it's all about your stroke, and how to pull stronger on one side more than the other, in terms of not letting that speed down, and you know, potentially letting someone off your feet. You know, if you don't want to drag someone along or give them, you know, that energy conservation. And he is a very smart player in the water.
And again, Jacob Birtwistle, number 44, sitting third. Feet in the pack. He's leading some of the best swimmers in the world. You know, Javier Gomez is considered a superstar in the water, and young Jake Birtwistle's positioned himself well indeed.
Before they get to transition, we should reiterate again that there is no need to win this race. Exactly. They all know that. All they have to do is finish within the top 15. So is there some kind of tactics? Obviously, you've got to give yourself a buffer, because if you sit yourself towards the back and go, I'll make the top 15, and then suddenly you lose a couple of people on the run, you finish 16th, your day is done. But the top 15 will go through and will reset. So there's really no need to win this one. This is probably Varga's slow swim, and he's still beating everybody.
Exactly. It's a game of conservation now. You need to conserve your energy. You're tired from the last 2 days of racing, but it's only that third race that you need to qualify for to get the points to win the day, to get the big money. So it's, you know, you're going to look for a race within a race. Those athletes in those last positions will be the ones fighting. The athletes up the front are doing as little as they possibly can to get through the event.
We've had some very, very heavy rain in the lead up to this. Obviously, the sun's coming out now. The tropics do that to you. You just don't know what's going to happen, but there's a little bit more muck in the water. I don't think that's affected them too much. There's a little bit of seaweed floating around there, but a little bit darker in the water. It hasn't mattered. As they come into transition, do we have Robbie McEwen down there?
Yes, you do, guys. I'm down here in transition, and I now have Richard Varga coming into sight. But he hasn't got that look of intensity of the last couple of days. It looks like it's all about position.